the show is all right, man. Without Roseanne, they talked about her and all that kind of shit.
How did they write her up? That was funny.
They killed her.
Oh, they killed her?
Yeah. They killed her. Deadass. Like,
hey, that's the easiest shit, right? Hey, yo, kill her off. Ain't nobody asked no questions.
Done forever, okay?
No one asked no questions. She dead.
She dead, and that's all they did. They kept moving. I want to say they're like season 3.
Wipe yourself off.
Damn.
You did.
I mean, isn't that like the easiest way though? You just start the, season 1 of whatever episode.
Clean slate.
They just all coming back from the funeral.
Slate, yeah.
Black and white. Everyone's all sad.
What happened? Well, shit, she died. That's my question. Shit. All right, let's see what else they about to get into.
All right, fellas. Give me a shot.
Give a toast. Hey, to Monty.
Who's toasting?
Now look, we're gonna toast today to just fucking adulthood, man. It's living it up, reveling in it. It sucks, but it's also great. Just keep going. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Boom.
Boom. Shout out to the ability to pay these bills.
Bingo.
Understood.
Right?
This is the Wash Podcast. Everyday guys doing everyday shit. I appreciate you fellas being here with me again, once again. I got a few of my guys with me. My man Dre.
What up?
That man Jamel.
I'm here.
And smooth sounds from J.Carey.
What up?
You gonna sing for us today?
I'm not.
Man, it's smooth though.
We gotta talk about your contract, man.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta sing once.
Gotta rework those numbers first. I don't know, man.
How much you want?
They got you in a 360 deal?
I mean, because you gotta
somebody
understand.
bring in legal.
Yeah, see, you gotta bring in general counsel because you never know, man. It's I don't know. And then music is just.
Is it because you don't want to fight for it?
It's so scammy, you know. Like if you want to do it the right way and you got to release it and you want to mix for publishing and
you got to ask questions.
And then it's like, oh well, what about this? Oh well, what about this? And
well, let me play devil's advocate right quick.
Okay.
I'm joking. I know that was how we.
You did let out a heavy ass sigh though, like shit. Where do I start? Anyway,
I'll bring y'all here today because arguing, going back and forth, proving your point, like things like that. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it like healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, personally, I hate arguing.
Yeah, you do.
Like if someone come at me with some shit, I'll be like, "You got it. The jig is yours, man. What you need?" And I'll be like, walk away from it. I don't know if I've been told it's a gift and a curse because I'm passive, but I don't put my point out there.
Nothing but a curse. Ain't no gift.
How is it not?
Man, let your balls drop.
Come on, Dre.
Put your foot down. Goddamn, like let your point be known. Feel the adrenaline rush.
Yeah. But you don't think there are certain type of people who thrive on it? Like, you wanna come at me? Things like that?
Yeah, think of those motherfuckers like that joint debate team. Like, yo, you like arguing your shit, huh? Okay.
I mean, validation is a drug.
Yeah.
Right.
You say validation is a drug?
Yeah. What
like
else
your point of view is validated, right? Like I'm right. We saying like I'm right. I'm fighting to be right. Is that what you're talking about?
Or to have someone go, aha, yeah, thanks for changing my mind, even though that never happens.
So your whole goal, Jamel, you quiet. Your whole goal is to prove your own point.
I think we're talking about two different things here, right? When you talk about proving your point or having an argument, I think there's value in doing that. But I also think when you're talking about playing devil's advocate is a different caveat, if you will. If you play devil's advocate, I think you are trying to find a way to discredit somebody's argument as opposed to asking for understanding in the argument.
When it comes to devil's advocate, and this is my understanding of the topic of devil's advocate, when you talking to somebody and like, hey, I like blue, and then your whole jig is you like blue too, but I want to argue your point. That's what it means to me to be the devil guy. Jerry, go ahead.
I don't feel that devil guy. Jay, you the Google guru. Go ahead and look up what devil's advocate.
What is devil's advocate?
Well,
if I'm playing devil's advocate, right? So let's say some people got a point of view or a point or an opinion, right? And they're arguing that. And on the flip side, you can say, look, I agree with your points of view or your opinions, but taking yourself out of that situation and viewing it from another perspective or from another viewpoint, I think that's playing devil's advocate. Like, look, like, no, you right. This is their perspective. This is the opposite perspective or opinion, not saying that it's right, but this is how they're coming at the same viewpoint with a different lens.
So I would argue that there is a point of I'm trying to understand and formulate my opinion off of what you just told me, as opposed to somebody who's playing devil's advocate, which is more like
That's arguing just to argue.
I'm just arguing
just
it
to argue.
to discredit your point. For example,
Fact time.
turns out the name itself, devil's advocate, dates back to the 17th century when Roman Catholic Church created an office known as Advocatus Diabolo. One made a case against the canonization of sainthood of a candidate to uncover a character flaw or misrepresentation of the evidence favoring canonization. The thinking behind it, how would a claim be trusted if it hadn't been seriously tested? So they have a whole council of like, I'm being devil's advocate, why should you not be a saint?
Okay.
So I'm advocating for the devil as to why you should not be a saint. So they're actually trying to figure out a reason why you shouldn't be a saint.
So
Nowadays,
it kind of goes back to them, like, that fits right into what y'all said. I'm going against you just to go against you.
Just to go against.
So
you.
that's not what the origin of devil's advocate was.
I got it, but it kind of, to me, it fits.
Okay.
Right?
Because again, if clearly the person's up for canonization.
Yeah.
So pretty close to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're coming out to say, well, we have to challenge that just to make sure you're really, like, that's arguing.
Just arguing.
Or what if somebody actually doesn't deserve to be a saint? Which is what I'm arguing is like the fact that I need to understand the argument for why you do need to be a saint.
That part right there is what I want everybody to focus on at this point, is that the point of devil's advocate is to, maybe I might agree with you, but I want to see how you respond, and if I said this to you, if I said this to you, to see if you deserve this position or whatever it may be. I'm going to hit you with some stuff that I might not agree with, but I want to see how you respond. Am I wrong, Jamal?
No, I think you're 1,000% correct. I think that is a mischaracterization of the actual intention of a devil's advocate.
And to me, it can't be just to say, I want to see how you respond. It's, look, we are arguing from a certain perspective. We have certain facts. Let me introduce some facts to the conversation. And it could be like, not to argue, but y'all are clearly leaving out these facts or these points of view.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
putting
hit
shit
a
on the
point,
table.
before you go deep, you hit a point, pause. You hit a point where you said that I want to bring up some facts that you might not think about. So I like that. So only reason I say this is because me personally, I hate motherfuckers coming at me with a devil's advocate. Oh, you're just arguing me just to argue. Okay. I don't want to talk anymore. That's me. I'm like, oh, so you're just pushing that button, that bing, bing, bing.
But what if somebody's actually trying to understand where you're coming from?
Understanding where I'm coming from and just arguing me is different.
Has it ever worked for you?
No.
You've never come to a different realization just because of what someone else argued?
So you're saying two things. So I get what you're saying. Yes, if you present what Dre was saying over here, is that if you present a different argument towards me, cool. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
No, even if they're just arguing to argue, and you're just like, okay.
If you're just arguing to argue, the kid would shut down.
So you shut down. Okay.
I shut down because if I'm talking to somebody, and I present a great point. Hey, blue is blue is blue, and you be like, well, I'm like, all right.
But like you said, the great debaters, right? What if
you
just thrive on that?
I'm
What
just
if you're
saying,
like, let's argue?
have y'all thought about red?
Oh yeah, I'm a trash lawyer. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna hold you.
Who's talking about that?
I'm not
But
saying
yeah.
red is the shit. Red is it. I'm saying, like, ain't
But
nobody
we're in the
said
blue- we're
red
in
in
the
this
blue
whole
room, though.
conversation.
Yeah, right? It would be a blue
We're
room.
in the blue room. We talking about blue.
And you're
no
like-
one said shit about red. Did y'all forget about red?
Okay.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm for red.
bad.
I'm just saying, like,
That's
ain't nobody said red.
That right there is not devil's advocate.
What is that?
Devil's
What is that?
advocate would be like, okay, you know we're in blue, and you're saying, hey, have you guys ever thought about red? Whereas devil advocate is just like, but you know, red is better than blue. And I'm going to tell you why red is better than blue. What do you think about red being better than blue? As opposed to, hey, there is another color out here. Here's an option. Let's talk about it.
Right.
And you see, that's me being open to new information.
But again,
what
is
you're
it going to ever make you change your mind?
Will it?
It should.
It should. And that's my jig
It should
with
have
arguing.
It should have the capability to.
So why doesn't it happen that way?
Cause motherfuckers are stubborn.
Exactly, and that's my jig with arguments. It's just like you're too busy trying to beat me and try to win and try to like make yourself look good to, you know what I mean, and forget what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I had this talk with you too.
What's that?
Because I remember you told me like you just like arguing. Like, God damn, nigga, like hold up
said
on the
that shit.
attack. Like first of all, no, I do not enjoy arguing, but I had to talk to you about where, yeah, like I feel passionate about a viewpoint, and yeah, I feel I'm right. So I am telling you, or I'm trying to explain why I'm right. But I'm not so stubborn to where if you hit me with some new information or a different viewpoint or some shit I haven't considered, I'm not so stubborn to where like, oh shit, fuck your new information, I'm still right. No, I can, and I told you this, I can take new information and take that in and still come to my same conclusion.
In the heat of the moment, right?
Yeah, like, okay, that's right. I see what you're talking about.
So here's my
that may be
jig.
right.
Here's my
Still,
jig with what
boom,
you
boom,
just
boom.
said, Dre. A lot of people is not receptive to that type of thing. Like if I come at someone and be like, yo, I feel this way about it, they're so quick to shut my shit down.
Not even a lot, I say most.
I mean, no one argues in a vacuum. You got
right. You need
ego,
someone.
you got stress. It's all kind of shit. You may not even really like the person you're arguing with. So
Facts.
then there's that whole added layer of, I don't even give a shit what you're gonna say anyway.
So how do we
Man,
get
when you
past
take
that?
emotion in that shit.
How do we get past that?
So before you go there, so what next thing I was gonna bring up is playing devil's advocate at the right moment of thing. Like I feel like some people do it all the time. What Dre was saying, was it J.Carey saying like, does it help you understand the situation? But some people come in, I'm gonna disagree.
I don't think there's
As we
ever
should.
a time, in going off of the original characterization like I was reading, I don't think there's ever a time for a devil's advocate.
It's crazy.
Because to me, it sounds like you are looking for a way to be antithetical to my argument.
Just for the sake
Just
of
to-
challenging it.
You're trying to be a
Just to
goddamn
challenge.
To
devil.
strengthen the argument.
Right.
Like it,
And it's hard because like I have friends who are, I think I brought this up, who are very combative. They like, I wish you would challenge me. I wish you would say that it's blue and I want red. No Crip shit, no blood shit, all that kind of stuff.
Democrats and Republicans. I know what we're talking about.
But like, that's a good way to put it. Politics. They're too busy bumping heads and try to beat each other instead of just saying, you know what, you might have a good point. Let's talk about that good point. Or, I have a good point. Can you please listen to my point?
Well, that's called capitalism, brother. That's
Is that what that is?
That's why nobody wants to listen to each other, because I'm trying to make more money than you are.
And that's a problem. So you joking, but it's like,
Oh no, I'm serious as shit.
dead ass.
Yeah.
but that's how when we disagree on something, it should be like, what are we trying to do right now, and how do we get there?
We aren't trying to do anything.
You say,
In an argument, it's I'm trying to win. That's the main focus, the main gist of everyone's argument.
bing, 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 bing.
I
bing,
want
bing.
to win this argument.
Yeah,
I want to beat your argument.
that shit's not cool, man.
I know.
And I get that. It's the whole point of the argument, right, is to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
But shouldn't we all, as adults, we should be at a point where you can concede a loss.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like
You
you said,
should be able to concede a loss.
is conceding a loss shutting down, like KP said?
No,
Right.
KP don't even step in the field.
I won't. I ain't gonna hold
He
you.
forfeit before the whole shit.
I ain't
So
gonna
is it better to do that, or is it better to put up a
I
fight
think-
at least? And
I think it
then-
depends on the situation,
I think
right?
with me, how I handle these things is a gift and a curse. I think it's good because things get heavy. I'm willing to walk away, but I lose my opinion in the argument. I lose my view on what I want in a situation.
Okay.
And it's a gift and a curse. So I got to learn a balance in between those two. You know what I mean?
But more so, in Jay, what you said, your definition of devil's advocate, right? Initially, you think like, yo, it's playing devil's advocate is kind of bullshit, right? There should be no time and place. But I don't agree with that because it can't be one-sided, right? There's morality is it's how to say, it's a spectrum. Like what's moral to one person
no, you're
isn't
right.
moral to another person. And the whole point, right, is let's say everyone was going for canonization. It's me being devil's advocate, I'm gonna be, all right, I'm that one motherfucker that's gonna come like, should it?
Like he's nasty.
So
Like, I'm just saying, like, the point is not just devil's advocate just to blow the shit up, but
Yeah.
it could also be like, all right, everyone's on the same accord. I'm gonna test what the fuck y'all saying?
You shouldn't be testing what you should actually believe in what you're believing in. I'm not trying to be antithetical to what you're saying to be like, oh, let me test you. And I'm reading again. There are healthy contrarians, so people who are actually trying to figure out what the difference is.
He likes to use big words.
There are people who are really trying to argue for this quote here. Being disagreeable and coming up with logical counter arguments gives them an intellectual high. They are trying to argue just to argue, as opposed to somebody who is really trying to figure out, hey, does this person deserve canonization or not?
I got you, but that doesn't equate to every time playing a devil's advocate. That does not equate to that.
No, that's being.
If I'm playing devil's advocate, if everyone's coming from one fucking viewpoint, me playing devil's advocate and testing those viewpoints and saying like, I'm not arguing just to argue, but like, yo, something may be wrong. Like we can't. Why are we all 100% in fucking agreement?
Are you using logic?
It could be logic. It could be like, look, everyone's coming from the same viewpoint. It's not. I think it's human to test boundaries, right, or to question things. We should be questioning shit.
Of course, questioning something is
which is
great.
a healthy contrarian.
Yeah,
but it could all be devil's advocates. If everyone's going for
logic.
canonization over one thing, he could be like, look, I am testing y'all's arguments. I want to test y'all's viewpoint because everyone's in fucking agreement. No one's coming to challenge this.
Okay.
Why isn't anyone coming to challenge this? So I didn't get it from your definition. Like I'm throwing this shit in just like I'm gonna try to convince you, or I'm gonna put my shit in just to argue. It's like no, like everyone's going with the fucking grain. Not to be a contrarian, but like, why are we all going with the grain?
But see, Dre, you're bringing up something totally different what I'm asking. Because some people, I think they argue just to argue. They want to play devil's advocate just to be devil's advocate. But what you're saying is, I want to test the grain. It's a good thing. Like, I want to challenge your opinion on something. So if you truly feel that it should be red, I want to hear why you think it's red. And I appreciate that. And that's perfectly okay. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes people come at you, you know what, I'll use corporate as an example. Let's say we're in a corporate meeting and like a presentation's on the wall. They do what, boop, 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 Jigs is here, Jigs is there. And they're like, what do you guys think? You might 100% agree, but you want to be heard. Well, what about this? Well, this and this and this is, what about if they do this? And then you get to, oh, you're just.
So that's funny. And then you go to, because we all have those people at work, right?
Yeah.
You could
I
be
was just
like,
gonna go there.
you could be, all right, this dude, because if you have experience with that person, this person like, oh no, this motherfucker just asks questions. Like he wants to know why. Because I'm that person. Like you can tell me, like, yo, you're supposed to do A, B, and C. Can you tell me why I'm doing A to B, and then why it's B to C? Why can't we go just from A to C? I'm that guy. Or you can be like, this motherfucker just want to say some shit.
And I think, go ahead, J.Carey.
If they tell you this is why we're doing A to B and why you go B to C and that why you can't go A to C, do you take it a step further than that and say, well,
For my shit, yeah.
So then when does it stop?
It never does.
It doesn't.
It depends on your role, right?
So how do you?
When do you? Who says when we're supposed to stop questioning?
Who says when we are supposed to stop an argument?
It's
when you prove the argument stops when you prove the opposing viewpoint false.
No. See, that's where I disagree.
Okay,
when we get to a solution is when the argument stops. Not when my point's proven or your point's proven. When we get to a solution, and I think that's where a lot of people get lost.
You right. Well,
so then
I think that goes from arguments to negotiations.
Right, because now it's like
if I'm conceding something,
how can you have a solution to a problem you made?
Yeah, because we can agree. Like I can say, hold on, I can say,
whoa. Say that again.
Yeah,
it's an argument.
You said, how can you come up with a solution to a problem that you made?
Yeah.
Aren't you the person who's supposed to come up with the solution?
But how are you going to convince everyone else of that? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I understand, okay, let's say you have a certain procedure, and yes, you're supposed to update procedures all the time. Like we do things better. But if you get to the point where you are at the best where it is right now, and you still keep arguing, you're looking for a solution, but you already have one. It's the procedure.
So I think that brings me to my. Go ahead, Jerome.
No, I'm digesting what you just said.
That brings me to my next like thought when it comes to like back and forth. And,
Right.
you know, it becomes a point when it's like, are you looking for it? Like, help me understand where it's coming from. So let's say I come to you with a problem, an answer, a solution, a whole jig, but you still have something to say.
There are some people like that. One, when you in like heated arguments, right?
Yeah,
And when the shit's done and your chest is
got
beating
something
off,
you think.
chest is beating off fast. No, your chest is beating fast. You're breathing a little bit. That adrenaline's in there. You're like, yo, even though I may be pissed off, like that's a fucking rush. You have some people that are addicted to that rush.
They're addicted to the
That
rush
sounds like such a dirty high.
because
It
it
could be.
comes to like a lot of people are just naturally combative. Like they just thrive off that shit. Like they just want it. Like if I come at you with something that's basic, it's like peanut butter jelly is the best sandwich.
Or, okay, good example.
Something basic.
Peanut butter and jelly, right?
Yeah.
When you pick the sandwich up, do you want the jelly on top or the peanut butter on
Yeah.
top?
Who fucking
People care.
cares?
They care, right? So it's like I'm not trying to like discredit the way you want to eat,
Yeah.
You have an
okay?
opinion.
There's an opinion that you
But
should share.
if I'm like, if I make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you can't be pissed because I get like it's just not everyone thinks that way. But again, when it's you, when you're in the heat of the moment, when it's your viewpoint that you're arguing, you're trying to say, listen, it's not a peanut butter and jelly
But there's a
sandwich
difference
unless you eat it
between
this way.
opinions and factuals.
People do not. That's a good one, but guess what?
Oh, but what does that have to do in
Opinions
terms
became
of an
facts.
argument or a debate?
In a debate, there's like, hey, I think that the peanut butter should go on top, or I think the jelly should go on top. Whereas somebody is saying, hey, 50 and 50 still makes 100,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So regardless of however you slice this fucking sandwich, it's still going to be 50% peanut butter, 50% jelly. Well, no, I think it's going to be more jelly because jelly's on top.
You're conceding.
Yeah.
Well, those are like in an argument. We're talking about combative people. It's not just these are opinions, these are facts. You have opinions that are supposed to be backed up with facts.
Right.
Okay, there
But
we
then
go.
you can
There
have
go.
facts that support one opinion and facts that support another opinion.
No, people make their
Enhance the
opinion
argument.
fact. They just say it out loud, and therefore it becomes
And
true.
then the
That's a
whole other
huge dig
shit,
that he just said though. People make their opinion fact. Go ahead, Dre.
or
That's it,
I mean, like, no, it's the same shit. Because then if I bring my alternative facts, that's just the same as regular facts.
No, they're not, because alternative facts are not facts.
Oh no, I live in 2022.
Listen.
Alternative facts are facts.
But Dre, that's what I think what we were talking about, where alternative facts become facts, because someone's so strong on their argument that these random, I pulled this out of my ass, you know what I mean?
Yo, and it took a while for me to realize is just because somebody speaks with confidence doesn't mean that motherfucker right or know what the fuck they talking about.
I don't know if you said it or somebody else. Just because you speak louder doesn't mean your opinion matters more.
Right.
And so that staying on the combative part is just like, I feel like some people walk into situations knowing that they're wrong, like facts.
So it's ego.
Is it
I don't
ego?
think they think they're wrong.
What do they think?
They think they're right.
Or no, you're right. They think they're right, but what we said before is we should all have the ability or capability to concede defeat, acknowledge loss. We should, but that it takes a person, a big person to do that. It takes a lot of some person to say, I was so passionate about this, I thought I was right, but yo, I was dead fucking wrong. And I can understand where it would be hard to do that because one, it can be fucking embarrassing. Two, imagine if you based your life around this opinion. That could literally fuck your whole world up. So it can be tough to do that.
So
You mean like white privilege?
So what Dre was saying, like I feel like
that is a good example.
I feel like someone owning, I'm talking about combative people, owning that, like, you know what, I came into this heavy, and so I'm wrong, and they accept that. But I think with combative people is what I'm trying to get at is like I talk to a lot of people who aren't willing to say, you know what, we're arguing because I'm wrong. Let me own that. Let's end this argument.
It never happens. Come on.
You see what I said, J.Carey? You said that, right? Because it never fucking happened.
Come on.
Okay, so let me. Why does that never happen?
I just said it takes a big person to
But
do that.
okay, it takes a big person to do that. So what does that mean?
What you mean?
It's a human trait. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say a human trait
It
because
take-
the kid.
I was
like,
gonna say
you know
you
what?
have human traits.
You got it. You know what? Hey,
But then you're
shit.
sacrificing you to.
It's not a sacrifice for me.
I think
it's
is.
an understanding.
You're sacrificing yourself and your opinions to defer to whoever.
No, it's an understanding. Oh shit, I made a mistake.
No. What I'm saying is, if you are in an argument and you're like, "Hey, you got it,
No,
take
see,
it."
you're talking about
whatever.
two different things. You're talking about two different. Me succeeding to an argument like, yeah, you got it,
Yeah.
is one thing. But me understanding, oh shit, I fucked up.
And then, so what I'm saying now, so if you are deferring in that argument,
Yeah.
you may think you're right, but you're like, "Hey, you know what? You got it. You're right." You are sacrificing your thoughts and your opinions to give up, if you will, to that person, and now that person holds something over you because you have deferred to that person.
then-
Pause,
Some-
hold up.
Okay.
That might be the jig. Someone holds something over you.
Yeah.
And that might be the jig why everybody else is like, I would never allow that to happen. And that's a problem.
What do you mean someone holds something over you? That
'Cause
oh,
what
I
you
was
just
right.
said,
I was right that
so I
day,
got
and he
you.
was wrong that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that builds on top of each other, right? So let's take it back to politics, right? If we're saying, hey, we think that Trump was in bed with Russia, and he comes back and says, no, I wasn't, and then there's nothing to prove that he was in bed with Russia, I got you.
Yeah.
So the next time we come and say, hey, you got documents in your house in Florida, well, you guys weren't right the last time, so now I can hold this over you. That's the argument now, right? So if you defer and you don't are steadfast to your thoughts or your opinions, then somebody can hold something over you, and then later on down the road, it builds on top of something else, it builds on top of something else, and you're no longer able to continue with your argument because you've lost in the past.
And this is the podcast. We don't care about your political views. We don't care.
I do. Fuck Trump. Fuck everything he stands for. Fuck him and the leader of the House, the leader of the Senate, everybody that came along with him, all of them. Fuck them.
Fuck them socks with the belt on
But
it.
his staff,
His
the
whole
crew,
his
a
staff,
record label.
crew, record label,
Damn.
everybody.
What would
Don't one of them got sickle cell or something like that?
So,
Hey, my homeboy just got signed to Trump Records though.
What?
I hate y'all. So, I think what we were trying to get at is, I think Jamel was saying about ownership of somebody.
Yeah.
When I win this argument, I got you.
I have something over you. Not
have
that I have you, but I have something over
You that I can bring up
Yeah.
every fucking
Exactly.
time.
And in the American capitalist society that we live in today, social capital and political capital may weigh more than financial capital.
Okay.
I think we go back to, hey, that was a good point. That still boils down to, if we can simplify it, right, is what is an argument, right? I'm trying to prove something, I'm trying to win, right? We're in a battle. It still goes back to, why can't people just say, yeah, shit, you was right. They can't take an L. They can't concede defeat because of the multiple reasons you've just said. But still, it goes back to, we're human, right? Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to concede defeat. So whatever, like you said, I have to stay steadfast in my shit. Even I'm fucking losing, right? If I'm losing, I'm down on the scorecard. I'm not gonna win this fight. I'm still gonna keep fighting because I cannot lose.
But go a step past that. If you're arguing with someone and you have them on the ropes and then they concede, does it feel better
Then knocking them out?
than actually winning the argument? Because they're just like, you know what? Okay, you're right. Good.
You got it.
So now you're just standing
like with
there
this
like,
one.
Yeah, that's something I'm battling with.
I
'cause
guarantee you,
I'll
yeah.
concede fast.
Yeah.
Like, you got it. And that will piss
Yes.
them off. Like it would.
No, what pisses them off? So if you're in the middle of an argument and you
Yeah.
concede,
Yeah.
then that gives you some satisfaction, right? Like, I know I was fucking right. I won.
Yeah.
see?
I won. All the shit I won.
But if they throw the
But
towel,
no, not
you're
even
like,
throw the towel. He won't step in the ring. So that's why people are pissed. I just had a 12-week fucking training camp right? I lost 12 fucking pounds. I got down to cut weight, and your ass ain't gonna step in the ring. Oh, fuck this nigga.
Yeah. Yes.
So I can see why people would be mad.
Because
They got their facts right. They got they right in the right emotional state. They just paid off they phone bill, so they got their data all the way up. They ready to Google whatever they need to do to prove this argument, but you won't step in the ring.
So you talking about what I want to get to. It's like, yeah, I won't step in the ring. I'll own that shit. I won't step in the ring. It's because I won't step in the ring because I know you're wrong, but you won't even own it. So you just want to get into the ring and fight.
But if you know somebody's wrong, you should be willing to fight for the correctness of it.
But that's my point, is that I can step into the ring with you, but if you won't even come to the line with me and box me fair to fair, what's the point? I'm punching a wall right now. There's nothing I can do.
I would. To me, that harkens back to what we were talking about the type of society that we live in, though, right? Because if you aren't willing to step into the ring and you defer, the political and the social capital of it is you're weak, I'm strong, I deserve to be president. You need to go sit in the corner, little man, or whatever.
And that's what's fucked up, is because I do have a very strong opinion, but I know my audience is so blocked off of my opinion, I shut down. It's like, what is my opinion?
I think that goes on us as well. When we put ourselves, even if we don't put ourselves in this situation, if we in the situation, to know who we are getting in this situation with. Now, again, that takes effort and time on everyone involved, and no one wants to put in that time and effort. Like, not to pick on you, but you're like, look, I don't want to do it.
I don't.
Because I can't convince you, or I can't prove you wrong, or whatever. Like,
it's not about convincing. It's not proving or anything. You won't even hear my voice.
Yeah, but you take that position with everybody, and not everybody is that. Okay. There are some people that want to hear other perspective. There's some people like, look, this is what I think. This is what I've read. Let's hash it out and give me some new information.
To Dre's point, and me being devil's advocate,
Here we go.
Not everybody wants to be devil's advocate.
Right. They don't. But if I love to hear your point of view, I want to hear your point. I want to hear all those type of things. But when I bring up something, let's say I bring up some fire, and your whole jig is to be combative and just fight me and just like, you didn't hear anything I just said. Like I'll say something and you'll respond in a way, and I'm like, I just said that. I can tell you're not listening to me.
Yeah.
So what do I need to talk about?
But you have to get to that point though.
Yeah.
Get in the ring first. And if you feel like, yo, it's a losing battle, I shouldn't say like this is how you should do it, but don't paint everyone with a broad brush like they just want to argue, they just want to prove their point. Nah, sometimes like, yo, let's have a debate. This is what I think. I want to hear what you think. Prove me wrong. And if you prove me wrong, cool, because guess what? If you prove me wrong, I am better than I was before this conversation.
But see, that's the thing I think we need to figure out the definition of debate. You know what I mean? A debate is just me, you, and going back and forth. A debate is this, I'm trying to prove you wrong, you're trying to prove me wrong. When we have a conversation, it's me trying to talk to you like, hey, I feel da-da-da-da-da-da. You say, I feel da-da-da-da-da. And then me and you conversate about boom, boom, boom. And then we come to an agreement about boom, boom, boom.
To me, there's no difference.
No, because a debate means I'm trying to prove my fact to you that your fact is wrong.
But just because I'm talking to you,
no.
Like to me, even if I converse with you, right? These are my facts. This is my viewpoint. This is why I think you wrong. Well, we having a debate in a more civil way.
So maybe that's the word, a debate in a civil way, because I feel like, to my understanding, a debate is we both have two facts that we're trying to prove against each other. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah.
Everybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not facts, but points of view.
Points of view on opposite sides of a debate.
Yeah.
Of a debate.
You're supposed to prove yours and disprove theirs.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what it is. And to my opinion, I feel like when two people, not lawyers, we're in debate class,
lawyers
or
are people.
All that.
Wow, right. Wow.
We should not be trying to prove each other's points wrong. Point of views wrong. We should have point of views, but we should be trying to conversate and try to talk and figure out how we can.
I'm just gonna conversate.
How about I don't prove you wrong? How about I prove I'm right?
Converse.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're doing it right
I completely
now.
agree.
Why does it gotta be like that?
I don't know, but it's been a pleasure talking to you.
And I genuinely feel people get off on that. Pause.
Some people do.
That's it.
I agree with
They
you. Some people
genuinely
do.
get off
a
like,
drug.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got you. I got you.
And now you my bitch.
So, but to my point, and to put a button on it, just that now you my bitch, right? And that gives you so much more power. At the end of the day, I agree with KP's premise. We should be able to have a conversation and relate to one another to come to a agreeable solution. However, in the society that we are, as it's currently constructed, the one that we currently live in, being able to have a conversation makes you the weaker party and therefore the loser, and nobody wants to be the loser.
The loser. And I think the elephant in the room is relationships. When you're talking to your significant other, it's like, yo, I feel like I'm gonna cut the grass, but I'm not gonna cut the grass on your terms. So you need to understand that it's gonna get cut. It's not gonna get cut in your time frame. Is that okay with you? And she'd be like, fuck that. I want the grass cut right now. And what else do you have to do? And the conversation should be, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. And she'd be like, all right, cool. When you get done with that, cut the grass. But the way the world is built, it's no, fuck that, cut the grass now. None of that other shit is important. I told you to do it now, so do it now. And that's what causes that friction.
I feel if the world were only simple. But just think like in research, right? So you have someone, they do a study and they come up to a certain conclusion. Well, you can take that scientist or that researcher, at their word, right? You did the motherfucking study. This is what you came out with. All right. But just because the next step is, all right, another scientist says, I'm going to do a peer-reviewed study where I'm going to take your shit and I'm going to try to recreate it. That's not like a sign of disrespect or saying, no, you wrong. It's just like, all right, you said this. All right, let's test it. Let's see if I can come up with the same shit. Let me see if what you said is what it is. It's not a debate. As human beings, we're emotional, so you can't take emotion out of it. But
it's empirical research. It's the numbers.
Yeah, in science, it's like, look, you said this. I'm gonna do the same shit and see if you're wrong. If you're wrong, then you're fucking wrong.
Right.
And then I'm not right, but I disproved you wrong. I don't take away from you. It's not like I got some power over you or nothing. We should all, as human beings, follow that model, right? Look, I have my opinion, maybe based on some facts.
Right.
There may be some other facts I'm omitting. Who knows? But like, this is my opinion. But we should all be like receptive to, all right, you got some facts? Cool. Have you considered these? Not to fuck you up, but just saying like, let's converse. I think we all, as human beings, to progress as a society, we all need to be open to being wrong. We are not fucking perfect. We don't fucking know everything.
Facts.
Can I pose a question real quick to something that Dre was just saying? If you omit facts, is that a lie?
Yes.
No.
That's withholding the truth, right?
You're just not telling the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you call it a lie, but it's not.
It depends on your intent too.
It's still deception.
I would say it's deception, but is it a lie?
It depends on your intent. No, it's not a lie. I think a lie is a mistruth, like you were telling something not factual.
Yeah,
No, it's
but if you
deception.
don't give that information,
Which is not lying.
No, it's just.
But it is,
deceiving.
it is deceiving.
Right.
Lying
'Cause
and
again,
deceiving,
it's
like
like-
they're in the same. They play in the same fucking yard, but they
Deception
ain't
is
the
a
same.
huge piece of how people get off on a lie.
And it depends on your intent,
which,
right?
which leads to the argument,
no,
right?
it depends on your intent. If I omit a fact because it's like it's gonna further boast my argument, but it's not needed. Okay, I'm gonna omit that fact. If I omit a fact because it's contradicting what I'm trying to say, then yeah, that.
And so that
Like,
actually,
I guess it could be deceiving, but then we go to debate, right? Like, why am I going to weaken my argument to help your argument?
That's where I was going.
But-
with that.
That's where
where
you
I was
at.
going with that.
go ahead.
But-
Finish your statement.
But
Okay.
again,
Say it.
we are all human. If I'm in a debate and I'm proving my viewpoint, I have these facts. Again, I can know all the information about my viewpoint and still come to my conclusion. let's say, all right, I omitted this fact, but J.Carey throws that fact at me. Cool.
But what about?
Yeah, what about such and such? Cool. I know that fact already. And I was able to take that information as part of how I reached my opinion or my stance and still have the same conclusion. I still have the same stance with that fact I omitted. So it depends on I said the intent of when I'm omitting that fact. And if we're ever in a debate, again, if the purpose is to win or lose, I'm not going to help the other person's argument.
Yes, but helping the other argument, like you said. So that makes me, I think we touched a little bit about us arguing even though we're wrong. So let's say I'm talking to you and we're going through back and forth and I say something to help your argument, even though your argument is wrong. Do you roll with it?
Says you.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
You see what I'm saying?
No, keep going. I was fucking with you.
I think you don't roll with that. Me personally, if I don't have a leg to stand on, I'm not gonna just keep fighting the fight.
But it's not a leg to stand on. Let's say you have the leg to win the argument, the fight.
Right.
You can win it because I don't have enough facts or I'm not presenting a great argument or things like that. But what I'm fighting for is actually right. Do you continue to fight it just so you can win it?
Then you have to go
Look at y'all all like,
Then you have then again, when we're debating,
yeah,
I'm right.
I would
right?
say yeah. I would say
I'm
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What am I right about?
But no,
Who says you're right?
That's the all right.
We're not arguing 2 and 2 is 4. But I don't want. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You're saying exactly what I'm getting at. It's like there gets to a place when right and wrong or what works for this situation.
I think ultimately we are human beings. We are fucking flawed.
Yes.
We are flawed. But I think that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of humanity is you can know some information and come to a viewpoint. I can know the same information and come to a different viewpoint, whether it be based on my emotions, whether it be based on my religion, whether it be based on my life experiences, whatever. That's the beauty of everybody being different, right? So ultimately, we have these pushes and pulls, these tugs of war, these fights about how we progress as a species, I guess. Is like, how do I want our society? How do I want my species moving forward? Or do I like, nope, I don't like this direction, I want to go the other direction. So that's the beauty of, we all have our different experiences, we come to these different viewpoints, and we all have to move forward and try to shape what our future is going to look like. So we're never going to agree, which is the beauty of it. I think there is great positive in me not agreeing with you.
I think there is more value in compromise, I think is what you're getting at, than there is value in being right or being wrong.
There you go.
All right. Well,
not all the time, but majority of the time.
Arguments. See?
oh, this shit's
I love it though. That's
it's all fun. We watched. We all watched. But I appreciate y'all. We watched, but we in this together. All right, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
What are your thoughts on Miracle Whip?
I got to pee.
Cool Whip.
Miracle